Hello.
Morning.
Hi, Mike. Good morning.
How you
Good
doing?
to see you.
And you?
How's my voice?
Yeah, good. Same as
Okay,
ever.
good. All right, good. All right. So yeah, do apologize for last Thursday. It
It's
was
all right.
yeah, basically driving Iris. She was coming to the south. We had some kids activity together. So she spent a few nights there. Yeah, and really had some great time with the kids, family wise.
Good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so yeah, and there's a surprising win, which I think it may not be the time to disclose yet because it's not fully materialized yet. But suffice to say, it's a very surprising development, even to me, to myself. Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, it'll be some good news if it happens. Yeah. So would you like to share some wins on your side first?
I don't know
Just
if I want
one,
to now.
one or two?
Might keep them secret.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
no, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'm
Yeah,
teasing.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I started reading a couple of new books. So one is Outlive, which I think Ben recommended.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
but that's really interesting because it's by a doctor and he's a medical doctor, and it's about the things that we need to consider for helping our body stay healthier for longer.
Oh, nice.
So it's yeah, it's really, and it's interesting because actually there's although so far he has not mentioned anti-fragile, it's a similar kind of line of thought. And then another book that I started reading is called Super Thinking, and that was
Oh,
recommended
super
by
thinking.
somebody else.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
I've not, and it's basically a couple of MIT students or associates or whatever put together a book which is all around the thinking models that different disciplines have. So whether it's mathematics or physics or whatever, and then how they utilize these, how to utilize these thinking models. So that's really interesting. So that's, I learned a lot just in the first chapter, and so obviously there's quite a few more to go, but that's really good.
Nice. Okay.
And yeah, so putting that together really. So they're good. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool.
Okay. Nice. All right. Thanks. So I'll share a couple of. So I'm in Dan's Rapid Transformation Challenge. So actually, it's not teaching anything that you don't know. It's all the same and stuff, except in higher concentration doses and more examples, things like that. One key idea I think has been, really acting as your future self. Okay, acting from the place of your future self. So the deeper I started dive into this, I realized, health will be really like paramount from my future self perspective in different time frame. So I decided to start to do the full master year exercise, of 50 minutes on a daily basis. And in fact, as part of the morning routine, which at the moment I'm doing probably just 20 minutes and not very consistently. Although I try to do a bit almost on a daily basis. But so last week I only did one day where I had a full, but I think that's a good start. And already I'm redesigning my schedule for that. So that's one. The second thing, I think it's clarity. Okay. So the clarity comes from realizing that I want to build eco villages, as you probably know, 20 years later, right? I want to do Impact Accelerator 10 years later. And they're kind of happening now. So the one really interesting thing is the rebuilding of our family house into an eco environmental friendly building. So that probably will be a project. But what I realize is if that project can combine with JCF, right, into a single effort, while the whole process can be taught as part of the coaching, in terms of mindset, habits, growth, that will kind of make all things together. And I also realized that, so basically building an eco building with JCF as a funding mechanism, that's kind of something I've been thinking about. And obviously this, to tell the truth, I have no idea, how the pathway looks like at this moment, at least not fully yet. But I do know that there are some important who's that's going to be involved. Okay, so again, this is about the team, relying on team, relying on other people. So the first is obviously the building part, that will be Dr. Yang, right? He's like the building expert. The JCF part, that would be Mike. He's the JCF expert. And then the funding part, that will be Ian. Okay, the UK guy Ian. Yeah, because he's like the top ICO advisor out there, right? So it's just that my wishful thinking or my crazy idea that if I can somehow get these three people to work together, right? I mean, whether they know each other or work, I mean, to what degree they actually, I mean, like get in contact with each other, I don't know. But basically, if I can, rely on these three who's to get, the eco building done with a JCF funding mechanism, okay, it's going to, I mean, also test out, validate a lot of the JCF concepts, like investing to some collateralized assets, tokenizing real estates. Also, I realized that, it might be worthwhile to really invest big and dive deep into real estate tokenization, okay, for JCF moving forward, because it's an area that is actually concrete, enough with consistent enough return on investment, right? And plus, there are relevant experiences on our part from you, right? You've been doing real estate investment for quite some time. And actually, all the things I have, the only thing that hasn't consistently produced profit for me has been real estate. Okay.
Has not or has?
Has. Like I never lose, I haven't lost any money in, and I, of my real estate involvement, whether that be rental, whether I've been purchasing house, like that has been consistently profitable, at least on my part. Yeah. So I think, and also it's early enough that, people kind of think that it's something interesting of potential, but they don't quite understand how to do it, and, afraid of the legality, the regulation. So that's also, I think, maybe good timing to become an expert in this space, right? Because if you get into it early enough and become knowledgeable, you'll be considered and have some of your successful cases, then probably you'll be regarded as the expert, right, in the field. So
an expert, but what are you an expert of?
No, I'm saying that the crossover between real estate and, the tokenization for assets, right?
Right.
In terms of, it can come in the form of funding. It can become from the form of ownership or usage rights, right, of buildings, right? Like the share economy, right? You can maybe sell parts of your building, ownership or rights to other people, right? To liquidate a bit and to get access to, cash, for example. So yeah. I think regardless, I do sense that that's kind of a niche where we might want to look closely and heavily on. Okay. And also, if it generates profits, obviously that will be a good source, whether from rental income, from whatnot, right? That will be a good source to for the impact donation aspect of JCF as well. So I think that realization, clarity, I would say that's also a win from the, I guess the increased amount of thinking over starting, working as my future self and looking backwards and what would be the sensible thing to do now, right? One last thing from the learning part is I do learn from Henry Ford, his autobiography on Sundays. And I would say he is really a master. I'm now recognizing that Ford is, he has a lot of pioneering ideas, even pioneering now. And he has some really keen insight into the economics of how money works. For example, he doesn't believe in cutting wages. In fact, he's proposing we should always increase wage while reducing price, and by increasing the efficiency and productivity of our work process, okay, and workflow, okay, as the means. So I think he's really that was, that's fascinating to know that he was doing that, hundreds of years ago. That I think it's still quite relevant today.
Quite hundreds.
100 maybe. But I think in the early 20th century, right? I think. So.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. When did Henry Ford die?
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, he has some really, and he also, see that bankers have their place, but the banker mentality, doesn't work, should not be relied upon when it comes to business, because business value is created by value creation, not by financial maneuver.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
So that's
1947.
1947.
That's when he died. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So if the last sort of like five years were him retired, actively working up until the late 1930s, early 1940s, then yeah. But that's it's still very relevant. I'm not dismissing it.
Yes. There's a lot of wisdom that I've gleaned. Yeah, it's still very relevant today, even today. And I think especially today, because with all the new financial maneuvers, that's even more, than this time. So
yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. So there's a couple of things there. So this just on the point of view of value creation and not banking. I mean, I think they are very different.
Oh, so the main thesis is that he's proposing is that money doesn't fix problems. Okay, and if you have the mentality of trying to get money or borrow or get funding to fix your problem without actually looking at what is your problem, then that is not a good way to use money, actually. And in fact, you're just going to waste more money to rather you should really make sure that the vehicle, the business is working, is sound, is profitable before you throw money at it. Okay.
That's what I mean. Rockefeller says the same thing,
right.
In a slightly different format, in that borrow money to develop and move forward. Don't borrow money to pay the rent.
Right.
So if your business is if you need to borrow money just to make the business work so that it'll get through a hard time, then the business isn't working. Right. But if you're borrowing money to buy a new business, to build the business, then that's okay, because the business is going to pay for itself. And I think I think in essence they're the same message, although they might be kind of loosely fitting gloves.
Right. All right. Great. All right.
I think so. That's interesting. So just on that though, you named three things. You named a building project which could be anywhere from $6 to $10 million. Right. That's not a small project.
$6-7 million to build. That's the current estimate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not a small project.
No.
And if you think you're going to hand it all over to Dr. Watts's chops, then I think. I don't necessarily think that you will be able to. you'll have to get involved, because there'll be decisions that only you can make as the owner of the property, and
right.
you know, so it's not a hands-off kind of engagement. The JCF bit, I'm not sure how that works with because the funding bit, they're two different things potentially.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure where we're getting at with that. And then the part of the coaching kind of thing, I think you have to do it first before you can actually think about the coaching bit. Coaching bit is fine, that'll happen in the future once you've got a proven thing. There's no point in coaching whilst you're learning what you're doing, because you're not really providing any value there. But I think fundamentally on that project, then, from a JCF perspective, and the ownership and the shared profits from the rentals, the numbers, what are your fundamental numbers to start with?
Okay.
Because if you break down a standard property project,
right,
regardless of whether or not the property is being built or it is already built,
right,
there is, if you've got zero money in your bank account and you're going to borrow everything from somebody else, then there's going to be a cost to finance that project, right? So then the cost of finance, you have to pay that finance back at some point in the future, because people want their capital input, their principals. And so how are you going to, which fundamentally means you have to refinance the property project. And you can do that one of two ways: selling off assets, or refinancing with a new lender. Now, let's just put the idea of and this is why I've worked this through, thinking about it from the perspective of starting our own, you know, kind of crypto or blockchain real estate. It's like, what do I want, and then what does the person offering the money want, and for this to actually scale, you need to have other people like me, property people, wanting it because it makes it easier or better from a finance perspective, and therefore, you know, more engaging, right?
Exactly.
So that in its own right, I mean, it took me a while to write a white paper, but I did it. So there's the basis there. But I think you need to assess what the project is actually worth. Because broadly speaking, if you've got the land, so you might say the land is valued at, I mean, I don't know, let's say it's worth $1 million, right? Just for argument's sake. And in your case, you've got to buy out two uncles. So obviously you've got to find $500,000 in. So that's your first challenge. Who's going to lend you $500,000?
The land right now stands at $4 million right now, totally, including our shares. Meaning that if someone were to buy it from us, right, probably $4 million is what we're looking at, what we're talking about. Right.
So you've got to pay your uncles off. So the first thing you need to do is find $2 million.
Right.
That's your first.
At least, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because
about 2 million. Yes.
Right. So that's your first challenge. So and in doing that, you then, you know, how are you going to split that? How are you going to turn that into you know, what rights to the, because I don't know how it works in Taiwan, but in the UK, if somebody lends you some money for and you're using the property as an asset, then the asset, then legally they put what is called a charge, and you can have a first charge and a second charge. And basically, it means that if it all goes horribly wrong, then the person who lent the money is the first one in the queue to get money back.
Right.
Right. So it protects the lender.
Mm-hmm.
And most high street lending will not accept more than one charge. So it's them and them alone.
Right.
Now, all right, so that's interesting. And if you go down the route of doing it from a blockchain perspective, you have to go 100% down that route, because no traditional lender is going to get involved
Exactly
at this stage, because it's unproven.
Very true. Right.
So now you bring in Ian, and so Ian's going to cost you.
Yes, 10% or 12. I think last time we talked.
All right.
Nine Ethereum plus 12% of the ICO fund. I think that's
9 Ethereum.
Yes.
It was 3 you spoke to.
No, it's 3 upfront, 6 when the first funding comes in. It's 3 plus 6 Ethereum.
Right. Okay. So, well, that's easy, because you just take his fee out of the borrowing, right? But so I just call it 10% of 2 million. That's just your first stage, and then you got your build costs. So if you're saying it's going to be a $6 million project, are you suggesting then it's going to be 2 million to do the build?
Right, correct. Right. It's roughly, the current estimate.
Okay, fine.
Right.
So it's going to be, so you're going to want to add 10%.
2 to 3 million for the build, essentially. I mean, make it 3 million. Right.
If you call it 3 million,
right,
then you want to put some contingency in there.
Right.
So you're going to call it 3.5.
Okay.
Then you've got a lump of contingency cash.
Exactly. There. In fact, I think we want to raise 10 million total for the whole project. I think that should be the goal, to raise 10 million.
Okay, why would you want to raise 10 million?
Well, as you mentioned, for contingency's sake, and for other unforeseeable costs, costs in labor.
Well, that's what a contingency is for.
Right.
So if your build cost is 3 million, and your asset is going to cost you 2 million, that's 5 million.
No, asset. Okay, I'm taking it where the company will buy land from all the landlords, including us, for example. So that it all belongs to the company. So I'm calculating from the company's perspective. So land cost will be 4 million, and then build cost will be 3 million.
Fine.
So plus 3 million for contingency and other costs potentially.
That's I mean, I think that's way too. That's going to, from a cost of finance perspective, you're gonna be paying Ian 12% of 3 million that you're not necessarily going to use. You only want your contingency to cover your build costs. Right. So if you've got a contingency of 500,000, you're going to be paying Ian 12% of that 500,000 just in case. Right. It's an insurance.
Right.
So why pay him 12% for an additional 2.5 million that you're not necessarily going to need? Because the whole point of having a contingency fund is that it's there.
Right.
Plus, the other thing is that when you finish the project and you've got your and you haven't used your 2 million, you've got it sitting there doing nothing. So what do you do with it? Now, you would probably want to pay that back to your investors.
Right.
So, because then you're not paying for it. Because in a traditional context, again, this is not doing it in a blockchain context, but in your traditional context, you're looking at borrowing it from a bank, for instance, and that's going to cost you.
Right.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, actually. So what you want to do is I would strongly recommend that you go to a couple of traditional lenders, and find out what the traditional lending course or action would be, because that gives you something to measure against.
Exactly. Right.
And so, for instance, in the UK, if you're building a project, then you have to have 30% of skin in the game,
right,
at least. So for your thing, you wouldn't need to do that because you would own
the land,
50% of the asset
of the land,
so you've already got ownership. So if you owned the land 100%, right? And here's the other thing: you could say to your uncles, right, look guys, I don't have £2 million in my pocket, $2 million in my pocket,
okay,
right? I don't have it, but what I'm going to say to you is this: we will give you your 2 million once the project is finished.
Okay.
And because your family and because you're because you're offering us this, then we'll give you an additional bonus of, and you can think about that.
Right.
Okay. But then you contractually have the rights, the ownership, and the control of everything, right? You might give them a, I don't know what a Taiwanese dollar. You give them one Taiwanese dollar each. So you've made a transaction, you've made a payment, and then from the rest of it, and this is called an option, right? You've got the option to buy the rights from them in a given period of time and call it 5 years.
Right. Okay.
Right? And so you now own and control the entire lot.
Okay.
So from a borrowing perspective, you can, although technically it still sits with your two uncles, they sold you the rights and you're the only one that can buy it. So they can't sell it from underneath you at a later date. You can't build up and then they go, well, you've made a you've built this up and you've made a profit, and that's not fair. I want some share of the profit. Well, they've taken none of the risk and therefore they're not going to get any. And you've got a contract that says, well, no, we agreed I would pay you $1 million each, plus a thank you of $100,000 each.
Okay.
So, or something like that, right? And that's a negotiable, and that, but what that does then is that gives you control and ownership over the whole piece.
I see. Okay.
And you could, if you wanted to make it equal, sit there and include your dad on the same thing.
Right.
Okay. It depends if he's amicable to that. But from a legal perspective, then it's like you've got one person who's sole responsibility for it, and then you've got everybody else is equal with what they're getting from it, right?
Okay. Right.
Then you can go out and get traditional finance.
Right.
Now, I'm not suggesting that you should, but it gives you the right to ask for traditional finance, and it will give you the right to get up, and people will take you seriously because you've tidied up all the loose ends.
Right. Okay.
Again, this is dependent upon Taiwanese law, but I mean it's standard practice globally. So
in UK,
and America,
that's what you're saying, right?
In the UK and America, it's standard practice.
Okay, I see. Okay.
So then when you want to borrow, you can borrow 100% of the build cost as opposed to borrowing the land cost as well.
Okay.
Right.
I see.
Once you've then you build it, and then you've got to work out what your build costs are going to be. All right, so it's 3 million. Okay.
Right.
So once you've built it, what's it going to be worth?
Okay. So the current estimate is that it's going to be, if we were to build it at 7 million total, then currently, according to market condition estimate, it's also roughly going to be worth 7 million on the market. Okay.
Well, that's no good. Where's the profit?
So the profit, I think, will come. I mean, that is just the current estimate. Okay, if we were to build it for rental properties, for example, into those rentable, I don't know, how do you call them in English, but it's like one room with an attached bath. Okay, that it's we can probably have 3 of them on the same floor and 8 floors total, for example, right? It will be an 8-story high building with 3 rooms, 3 rental rooms.
So it's a bathroom and a room. Where do people eat?
Well, they probably can cook something inside that room, okay, with some
Okay,
small.
so it's a bathroom and a kitchenette and a sleeping area.
Right, but it's not very large. It's probably 30 square
Is it
30
a
square
common
meters.
is it
Yeah.
common practice to lay out the property in the
Yes.
same
Yeah.
in that manner?
Yes. Yes. In Taiwan, it's actually, popular, especially right now there are
Okay.
more singles, individuals, not with large
Okay.
families,
Okay. So
right.
it's a normal configuration.
Right. It's relatively standard, especially nowadays, especially in Taipei, where land and buildings are expensive. So
No, fine. So if it's normal, it's normal. That would not be that building that like that isn't normal in the UK at the
okay,
moment. Could well
no,
be in the
no, yeah,
future,
probably
but
not. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so that's cool. If the end value is 7 million and the build cost is 7 million, then there's no profit in it.
Okay, not immediate profit. Okay, for sure. But
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
there.
matter. There's no
Okay,
profit in it. That's the
so
statement. That's
okay,
the fact,
okay,
as you're currently telling me.
right.
Don't sit there and go, well, in the future, it might be. You don't
Okay,
know what's going to happen in the future.
right, true.
In the
Uh,
future, China might come in with its tank and take it
right,
over, and it'll be worth nothing, right?
right, right. Hmm,
In the
true, right,
future,
right.
there's just too many variables for you to sit there. I mean, that's the whole point about anti-fragile is that you can't sit there and what's your black swan in the future?
Right, right,
You're
right,
taking that into consideration.
right.
And so my point being is that if you were sitting there saying, well, actually, it's going to cost me, and here's the thing, right, Shunyun,
Mhm.
it's like if you do that with your uncles and you say, all right, well, that's going to be 2.2 million for them, so 3.3 million with my dad included,
Mhm.
and then it's going to cost 3 million to build, so
Right.
that's 6.3 million
Mhm.
plus I've got the contingency fee of 500,000, so that's 6.9 million.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
you've just built it and you're not making any money out of it.
Okay.
You
I
might
see.
own it,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Which you'll go, well, I don't mind owning it because now I've got an asset. But you see, the thing is, your finance is all around. How much money is it going to? All right, if you make 8 units, so 3 times 8, was it 3 times 8, 32, right?
Right. Right.
Got 32
32.
units.
Yes,
Yeah,
32. Well, it would be seven, probably 3 times 7.
right.
3 times 7 plus the first floor usually is twice as valuable, at least 2 to 3 times valuable than the second floor above, because they can be shops. So they would be considered as, uh 3 times 7 plus, that would probably be like 6 units more. I mean, in terms of the value. And
Yeah, but
each
okay,
unit,
so the 6, so not 3. Okay, so you've got right, so you've got 6 on the ground floor, and
exactly,
then you've got 3
right,
times, so
right,
20, so 20,
27, right.
27.
And
Right.
each one, right now, the estimate is they would be about, I think, 8 million NT dollars. So 8 million NT dollars each on the market. So that's about, I think, 250K US dollar.
But you have to just work in one currency. Don't keep converting.
Yeah. So
Keep it
250K,
each.
yes, each unit. So that's 250K times 27, essentially.
Right. And that's
Sorry,
7
no,
million,
no, no,
is it?
sorry, that doesn't look right. So, oh yeah, it's 250K for each unit. Um, Yeah, so it should be 27
Fine.
US.
So it's 6.75, right?
Right.
So you're not even making profit, you're in loss.
Okay, right. So
Because
what
you
happens? Right. So again, I think this relates to the build cost. Okay, so if we can get, I mean, the build cost is estimated between 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3 million. So this is why I said it's roughly equal. Yeah, so I guess the build cost with the land cost has to come down to at least less than 6.75 million. That's
but you're going to spend a
mhm,
lot of time on this.
mhm,
I mean, if you hand it over to this other guy, then and he's going to spend his time on it, he's going to charge you for that.
right,
Now,
right,
there's a difference between him doing the work for you and
mhm,
him mentoring you.
right,
So
sure,
if you sit there and say, "Oh, can you be my mentor?" He's
mhm,
going to expect you to do the work, and he's going to
right,
stand, look over your shoulder, and go, "Okay, turn left, turn right, go straight ahead.
right,
Come back next week."
right,
And he'll leave you with everything to deal with.
right,
But
true,
you'll have to make the decisions, and you'll have to do it.
mhm,
Now,
right,
if he takes on the
likely,
project
likely,
and he
yes,
does it, then
mhm,
you're going to have to pay him a chunk of, you're going to have to give him, he'll want a percentage of the property at the end of it.
mhm, right, true,
And if
that's
he's
true.
getting a percentage of the property at the end of it, then he's not going to want to sit there and share it with a bunch of other people.
Okay,
Where's the profit in it for him?
oh, okay,
All of the and you know, if you're going to go out to an investor and say, okay, can you give me $6-7 million? Yeah, okay. What profit am I going to make?
mhm, okay,
So if it's going to cost, so it's going to cost it's going to cost $7 million to build, and it's going to be worth 7 million at the end of it. So what? Why would you bother? Okay, understanding what the end value is going to be.
hmm,
And the answer to that question is because I want to refinance, because it's more
oh,
expensive to borrow money at the beginning to build a property than it is to borrow money against
ah,
an asset which is already built.
oh, okay, I see, okay. So
Now,
you're
which
talking about
might,
refinancing
yeah,
itself could be profit
so
making. Is that
it
what you're saying?
might be, that's
Mhm,
why you might, and this is why it's important to go out to the market and go, how will I borrow if I was doing it without blockchain and
mhm,
JCF,
right,
how would I raise this finance?
right,
And then you'll go, well, actually, I can't, you'll come to a choice, right? And it'll go,
right,
well, you can borrow 7 million, but it's going to cost you. Yeah, and that's the other thing is if you borrow 7 million, it's going to cost you at least 700,000,
right,
right?
uh-huh,
In cost of finance.
right,
Now you're at 8 million,
right,
near enough,
mhm,
right?
okay, right,
So if you're at 8 million, then it's and then what you're going to do? You've got to pay back the 7 million.
mhm, right,
So the mechanism has to work, because if it doesn't, nobody's going to touch it because they're not
right,
going to make any
right,
money, and it's going
right,
to be a waste of time.
okay, right,
So it's still, you have to prove that it works. Now, there's another element that we haven't touched upon yet, and what's the
right,
rental factor?
right.
How much
What's the
rent are you
what?
going to make? How much
Much
money will you
rental?
make for
Okay,
rent?
all right. So the rental would be estimated at, I think, monthly basis. So each unit will produce, I think, okay, right now the estimate is $500 per unit.
Taiwanese or US?
Taiwan, US. I'm just making that, so probably five. So times the 26, that would
27.
27, right? That would
That's
mean
13.
right 13.5K
Yeah.
per month, right? So that equates to about 162K a year, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So, typically, right? So you then now, and here's the thing, this is why you need to work it out from the point of view of what does your normal cost of finance cost you, right?
Okay.
Because you would then say, well, all right, I've now got borrowing of what did we say? Almost 8 million.
Right.
Will 162,000 service that cost of 8 million?
Okay.
All right.
I see. Okay.
Let's be a bit more accurate then.
Okay.
Let's sit there and say it was, what was it? What did we say? It was 6.9, wasn't it?
Right. 6.9.
Was that right? 6.9 plus, so you would times that by 1 point, call your borrowing 10%, so 7.5, 760. And let's say that you borrow that, but you've got to yeah, it's only worth.
So
you're looking, Shinyan.
okay, so you're calculating what's the borrow cost, right? If okay, so you're using 6 point are you using 7 million as the total?
Yeah, correct. Okay, you do it, 7 million.
Okay, so let's say we're borrowing 7 million, and the borrow cost that would be you know, on a per year basis. I think usually at this time it's 2 to 3% if you have collateral assets. Probably 3%.
You're telling me that it would cost you 3% to borrow 7 million to do a build?
I have to find out. I don't know the answer.
It's just, I mean, if that was true, I think you would have an absolute building explosion because that's just really cheap.
Oh, okay.
I think you're going to be looking at closer to 10%.
So what you're okay? So you think 10% is more reasonable? Is it 10%?
I mean, it's what you'd expect in the UK.
I see. All right, that's
anywhere from
let's use that.
Anywhere from 9 to 15%.
Right.
So if you said 10%, you probably, you're near enough on it.
Okay, I see. Okay, so basically let's use 10%. So we're talking about
700,000.
Right, 300, 10%. That's 300K.
Well,
right?
what do you mean 300?
Oh, sorry, 700K. 700K.
Yeah, so 700,000 is what your cost of finance is going to be. All right, so 700. 1, 2, 3. 700. Divide that by 12, and you got 58. So 58,000 per month.
Right. So that wouldn't work, right? That would not work.
You've got, and here's the thing: how long will it take to build?
Okay, so right now the build duration. Now, okay, frankly, I don't have the answer to that.
You've got to look at 18 to 24 months.
Okay, all right. I think that's reasonable. A couple of years, yes. I think that's like the standard. Yeah.
So 24 months,
right,
times 58,000.
Right. Okay.
So it's just straight away. Well, I mean, it's even easier than that because it's 2 times 700, which is 1.4 million. It's going to cost you 1.4 million in borrowing,
right?
Finance. So your build cost, of 7 million is not going to work.
No. So I think it's quite clear from this analysis that we probably want to slash the build costs to a fraction of 7 million. I mean, the total cost. Now the land cost is something probably will be fixed, right, at 4 million. I think what we can do is with the build costs. You know, it's.
Did you say you've got a? Did you say you've got a developer that wants to pay you money cash for the land?
Yes, yes.
So how much have they offered?
That's about what they're currently thinking. $4 million for, you know, for our land. That's about what they're offering at the point. Yes. So I am using, you know, basically because this is price that's already kind of close to, well, actually roughly already in agreement that my uncles are willing to sell. So, you know, it's kind of already a market price that, yeah, because if they're willing to sell it to the developer, then another party should be able to acquire the land, right, for the same amount, given reasonable assumption, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Right. So they've got to then, if they're going to do that, you must. Okay, in the UK, your build costs
right
vary. Obviously, if you have you know deluxe bathrooms and kitchens and all that kind of stuff, then that is a that is a thing. But your build cost generally will be somewhere in the region of £1,500 per square meter.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Right. And that's from the footings in the ground, the bricks in the wall, and the kitchens and the bathrooms and the carpets and all that sort of stuff,
Okay. Right.
So in Taiwan, you should have a similar number.
Okay.
And all of that does, it just gives you a rule of thumb.
Okay.
Now,
I see.
your building mentor should be able to know what that is.
Yes.
And then you'll also go, right, well, in Taiwan, to do a completely green build, it's $2,000. For a completely normal build, it's $1,000.
Okay. Right.
But that would at least sit there and go, well, you'd sit there and be able to go, well, all right, if it's. And then the other thing that you need to think about is I would not estimate what the value of the commercial units will be. You got to go and do some research now, and sit there and go, well, okay, go online and find out how much it is to buy a retail unit in that area, or rent a retail unit in that area.
Okay.
What is the actual price per meter?
Okay. Right.
What are the contractual obligations? Because if you're going to rent it out to businesses, it's got to be attractive to them. And also,
for example, McDonald's, that's actually being suggested by my mentor. You know,
McDonald's buy the land. They don't rent.
They buy and develop themselves. That's what McDonald's do.
They buy a unit. They purchase.
They purchase. Okay.
That's the whole point of McDonald's. McDonald's owns more property than the Catholic Church. Have you not heard that story?
I know. I know McDonald's is in the real estate business. I know that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, fine. So he's not, I don't know.
It's not going to rent. McDonald's is not going to rent. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't want to rent it. You don't want to consider McDonald's, because McDonald's is somebody else is going to rent.
But I thought their strategy is to build McDonald's, but they actually purchase the lands like around, so that when the value of the area goes up, their properties goes up as well. But in terms of the actual store, you know for sure that they acquire, they have ownership.
No, I haven't seen the paperwork, but the general statement is that they buy, they don't rent.
Okay, I see.
And then as a leaseholder, you pay $1 million per McDonald's.
I see. Okay.
To them, just to get the ownership of the lease, and then you have to pay them a percentage of your profit.
Right. I see. Okay, so that's McDonald's business model. They're
Plus,
landlord.
plus they own the physical footprint. So it's like,
Okay.
you know.
It-
Now,
It's a
here's
no
the other
loss
thing.
model for them. It's a no loss
Yeah,
model for them.
exactly. Now, so then you've got another thing, right?
Right,
If you're gonna have a food catering company
right,
on the ground floor,
right,
what requirements does that put on you
right.
as the owner?
Probably there will
That's
be
the
safety
builder.
requirements, right? Probably there'll be
And
safety
safety
requirements, fire
and
requirements.
and then what impact does that have on your lenders?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Great, you build it for 7 million. Great, you've got McDonald's in on the ground floor.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that you've managed to rent it to them and not sell it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Great, you've got all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some lenders won't lend on property when there's a restaurant underneath or a fast food place because it's considered dangerous.
Right.
Where does all the fumes from the cooking go? You've got to build that. If you've got a building which is 8 stories high,
Right.
you've got McDonald's right on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
All the air that comes out of it, where does it go?
Okay, I see.
Does it go to the top of the building, to the roof? So you're going to have to build one of those stainless steel chimneys.
I see. Okay.
Well, so and then your lenders are going to sit there and go, not individual lenders, but your traditional lenders will go, well, all right, but that's going to be smelly and that's not going to be nice for the people and it's going to downgrade the cost of the bill.
Right.
Your commercial lenders, on the other hand, will go, well, you've got a contract with McDonald's. Well, they're a really good customer. So, that's great. The rental value of your property goes up. I mean, this is in the UK, right? So I don't know what it's like in Taiwan.
I see. Probably something similar.
And if you were to rent your property to a tattoo parlor or a hairdresser that nobody's heard of, then it's a lot lower.
Okay.
Multiplier.
You're talking about lending with brand clients is probably something we want to go for, right?
That's why you would suggest McDonald's. And then the other thing then is what I don't know the area, so I have no idea what's in the same street.
Okay, so it's essentially, the area is actually Honghai's Foxhound's headquarters. Okay.
Right, you don't have to tell me, right?
Right. Okay, yeah.
The point, you need to ask that question because what is the potential for you to put there?
Right.
If there's already a McDonald's 3 streets away, would McDonald's want to put another one so close?
No McDonald's
Burger King
as yet.
might do, right? Burger King might want to.
Right. Okay.
Nando's might want to.
Right. Okay.
Because fast food restaurants do better when they're next door to each other.
I see. Okay. Right.
So in that context, you might sit there and go, well, actually, if I just did the units of being Nando's, Burger King, Pizza Express, or whatever you're, and just fill it out, then that might work better.
Okay. Right.
But again, you got to think about all of that. That's research that you got to do. That's going to take your time.
Exactly. Well, the context of the property is that it's actually, it's one of the right next to MRT station, and it's going to be a big junction because it's actually where 2 MRTs are, changing lines, intersecting. There's a new one that's being built out. It's also the site of Honghai's Foxcom's headquarters in Taiwan. Okay.
Who, sorry?
So, Foxconn. Basically, all the Apple, iPhone, iPad are built by Foxconn, right, in China. Okay. Foxconn, Terry Guo, right? I think he maybe still is the richest man in Taiwan. So it's called Honghai. The international name is Foxconn, right? They're behind all the Apple products that you're using, okay? And they're into like electric cars. They are like the #1 manufacturer of retail stuff. Probably the biggest factory. And so already this place, we're seeing like foreign workers, visitors, with Hong Hai badges, Foxconn badges in and out. So, I do expect, the place will become more and more international. So it's going to be like a growing hub with time. So I guess that's the potential. Now, thanks for that note. I was actually thinking about the rental property probably will be, best for some kind of hostel chain to operate. Okay, so basically like short-term visit, not like long-term residency, but short-term visits for days or weeks, right? Or, for Foxconn's visitors or their workers, they could rent a place there, right? For months assignment, things like that, right? So they will be a potential candidate for clients as well. So I guess that's the value proposition. And maybe that will address the issue of you mentioned, which I think great, complain about, because you don't want to live there for a long time, right? There could be restaurant down there, things like that. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing then, Shinyun.
Right.
Have you checked Airbnb in the area?
Airbnb. Oh, okay. I haven't checked much, but you mean that's worth survey, Airbnb?
Just check Airbnb in the area, right? Because
okay.
Typically you would find you would multiply that 500 would then become, I don't know, 1,500.
I see. Okay.
Right? That would make a big difference to your profitability. But you got to, so if Airbnb is, let's say, for the area is, I don't know, I'm making this up, $80 a night.
Right. Okay. Right.
Then the way you work it out is you times that by 365, and then divide it by, or times it by, I don't know, 50, 65, 75%.
Okay.
Because obviously you're never going to get it 100% full all of the time.
Occupancy, right? Okay.
So, and then you've got other costs as well. So your maintenance and management fee might be 20%,
right?
25%.
Okay.
Because you're effectively running a kind of quasi hotel.
Exactly.
So, then you've got cleaning costs and all the rest of it. So that becomes a different mathematical model.
Right. Exactly.
But essentially, you might find that, to do Airbnb, what do you get in Airbnb in the area? Well, you actually get a full-on apartment with, a living room, a bedroom, a kitchenette, and a bathroom. So a little bit like the place I stayed in Toronto, right?
Right. Okay.
And if you were making that, what would that offer you? And would that be more preferable? Would it make you more money than just a room with an ensuite?
Obviously, yes, I believe so. Yes.
So doing those sorts of comparisons.
Right. Okay.
So you've got a lot of research to sit there and figure out what's the optimum configuration of the building.
Okay.
And then how does each one of those variations impact on your gross development value?
Right.
GDV, gross development.
Okay. Basically, what's the value, the profit, right, versus the cost, right? And obviously, we want to maximize one and minimize the other.
Yeah, and if you're not making profit on any of these, then it's dead in the water. Don't do it.
Okay. All right.
Because unless you can sit there and say to me, well, I'm not going to make any money for the first 6 months.
Okay.
But by month 7, I will be breaking even. Right.
Okay.
Or you've got a timeline that you can work to.
Okay.
Which is acceptable. The other thing you need to think about then is, all right, well, if it's going to be valued at 7 million by the end of by when it's built,
right?
That's using today's figures, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So, do you know how properties increase in value over each year.
Okay. So, well, suffice to say that the value of our own building has doubled over the last 15 years.
Right.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
if it's doubled in 15 years, then you can work out what it is in every year, right? What the mean is. So just work out the mean. Now, there must be a figure somewhere. I mean, I'm sure you've got stats that you can take off of the government website and stuff like that.
Right.
That you can go, well, actually, then the other thing that you want to look at is, all right, your commercials, your commercial
Mike.
unit.
So sorry, just to Debo would like to join to showcase his automated MACD detector. Okay. Just yeah. So would that be all right?
Yeah, I've got a guy turning up at 10:30 to fix some plumbing work in the house.
I think appreciate it. Okay, I think already this past hour has been tremendously valuable. I have to let you know. Okay, it's already, I think, pretty concrete.
No, people pay money for this sort of mentorship.
Yes, they pay for it.
I'm sure Dr. Jung should have been paid a certain amount of money for this sort of stuff.
I understand. Yes. So I know this is tremendously valuable. And what happens is I would like to get all these questions answered. Okay. I think the next time we speak. Okay. And maybe that's rested for now. Okay. And maybe we can check on Debo's progress. He's close. All right. Okay. So I'll let him join. So we already checked a few times, and I think he's pretty close, at least according to him. But it would be nice for you to also check on the progress, to provide feedback. All right. So Debo, hi. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Great. We have Mike here. The last hour we have just been chatting excitedly about the real estate project I mentioned to you earlier. Okay. And so yeah, so please go ahead and share your screen and maybe showcase what you currently have in terms of doing the automated detection. Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible now. Yeah. Go ahead.
So firstly, you asked me for making it for 3 cryptocurrencies. I made it for all the available cryptocurrencies. That's currently 6,000 plus, 6,200 plus cryptos that were present, and all the trading pairs. So you can just come in here. You can for now, what you want to track.
Right. So BTC USDT. Let's try BTC/USDT.
This one, right? First one.
Yes, first one. Yes.
Okay. So I have copied this and wait a second. I will go to the home page.
Okay.
And I will enter the trading pair here, BTC USDT.
Right.
Then provide my own email.
Okay.
Then submit it.
Right. To monitor.
Oops. I guess there's some error. Oh, I did not start the server, I suppose. Oh shit. I guess there is some error in here. Tooling is not defined. Just a second. I guess just a second. I just ran with a bug.
Okay. Okay. Try to avoid this next time. All right.
Yeah, sure. What just happened? Actually, I tested it. Like that time it ran. I don't know what happened just now.
Okay.
Tooling.
It seems like your environment has to be rebuilt every time, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe consider, running in some Docker environment. Might that help?
Might help, but I suppose this was still running fine.
Are you having the spelling correct?
TULIND. Just a second, I will just Google it. When I was like testing it, it was running fine. Wait a second. Stack Overflow.
Okay. Okay, Devo, how
Yeah.
about this? We'll let you debug. Okay,
Yeah.
let us know if you're done. Okay. And so Mike and I, we can still continue to discuss. Okay.
Okay. Just give me
What?
5 minutes. Yeah, I will stop sharing and
Yeah, just
switch off
stop
my mic.
sharing. Just send a message when you're done. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike,
Can I stay in the meet? Like I
yeah,
will just
you can
unmute
stay.
my.
You can stay. Just send a
Okay.
message in the chat room. Okay, when you're done,
Okay.
or signal
Okay.
us. Okay.
Yeah.
So Mike, I think yeah. Besides, appreciate the feedback. I think probably you have something on your mind to discuss about. I guess related to funnel or or is there anything you'd like to discuss on that front?
Well,
Uh,
yeah, in terms of the funnel stuff,
right.
as far as I'm aware, I think I've done all the things that I said I would do.
Okay. Okay. So
So
including the landing page and I mean,
I've
and
sent them off.
right.
So
Right.
you know you can go in there and have a look at them and see whether or not, as far as you're concerned, it's ready to go or not. But if
Right.
it's not, then I need that feedback so that I know what to do next.
Okay. All right. So
But
I think last time we checked together, right? And I think my feedback was it's pretty much ready to go. It's so I'm just trying to look at the can you maybe share it on your screen?
probably.
You share the funnel page on the I think you share both the landing page and also the thank you page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Oh, a second.
So let me share my screen because I think I found it.
I'm just finding it, Shannon.
Oh, okay. Is it this one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, great. Yeah, I think we've checked this. So it's literally email, right? If the copy attracts, they will probably provide your email submitting, right? And the basically go to the thank you page. So right now I should be getting an email. Is that right?
I
And
don't
I
know because
think
I've just made the pages, so I haven't done a workflow or anything like that.
I see. Okay, so maybe that's what's that's what needs to happen. And you were talking about what to do, right? Once people click on these buttons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the main action. Okay, so you talk about the webinar and maybe go directly to JCF to create an account,
Mm-hmm.
right? And okay, so obviously one way is to get them to the official website. The other is potentially going to some customer service instant messenger channel, right? So they can have someone to chat, to talk about. All right, so I don't think it's been hooked with the email yet because I haven't gotten any email here.
But like I said, I have not put a workflow
Right.
in.
All right. Okay, sure. So okay, so maybe I think seems like the very simple next thing we can do is just to make sure that he emails the ebook, right, with the email message,
Mm-hmm.
and then a link to the JCF website, right, for sign up, and then just start to I guess use advertisements to basically attract traffic to this landing page and
Mm-hmm.
then observe the conversion. I would this is what I would say as a minimum kind of really simple funnel process, right? And then everything else is just building and improving upon what we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
right? Would that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense what you just said. Yes. So,
Okay, so let's do that then, right? I mean,
okay.
if
So you say who's going to build the workflow?
okay, so okay. So I think for this, either we can do it or we can enlist, I think
Okay,
Aaron's help.
enlisting somebody, how much is
Right.
it going to cost?
Right.
Have we,
So-
we had that whole discussion about team tokens last
Right,
time.
right, exactly. So this is what I'm sharing on the page now, right? I think this is the, I guess my team token design. Okay. So I think one option is to start to utilize the team tokens now.
Okay, but
as part of
you're showing me this for the first time.
right. So
Where's the backing? The conversation that we had last time was about what's a team token actually worth? How do we value that? Where's the
right,
profitability? How do we back it up with something tangible?
right. Okay. So basically, yeah. So I think the idea here is that okay, maybe let me just quickly go through some of the key ideas with this to answer your question. Okay. So all right. So I think I'll just, the purpose is to allow all these people to collaborate. Okay, so the purpose is, and it's exactly our situation now in a startup team. And this is something I think also for Debo to have a look, okay, because Debo could be a participant for offering his development, for offering your development, talent, and see if this actually makes sense. So because it's hard to compensate fairly, and there's always the cash versus the the future dividend or the future shares, right, of the company. And I guess what we want is can onboard easily and quickly, right, with clear understanding on how efforts will be compensated. Okay. And basically, the main proposal here is that there are 4 types of tokens. Okay. And
So, Shinyan,
yeah,
Debo's, I have just seen the text saying that I've only just realized Debo's already fixed it.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So Debo, maybe we should let Debo demo first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, all right. So go ahead.
Yeah. I will just share my screen. Okay.
Okay. So that was
Where
quick.
is it?
Thanks, Debo.
Actually, it was just one line that I missed. So yeah,
Okay.
it was some silly mistake. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Make sure that
Yeah.
the silly mistakes are, tested.
Yeah. So if I provide in my the trading pair and the mail,
All right.
so it gets submitted. Okay. So I have actually made a function that runs after 1 hour. That runs actually after every hour. That's like after every time you mention it, like you can give it as an hour or give it as a
I
like
see.
here
Okay.
I am giving
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. For demo purpose, right? Yeah.
For demo purpose, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see these are all the data obtained,
Yeah.
and I have to close it or else it will just continue ascending. So these are the datas of the
Yeah. The
slow
MACD.
MACD and the fast
Right.
MACD that's been obtained.
Right.
And you can see here the like these are the links. These are not required actually for demo. Like you okay, so this is the new mail that's been sent to me.
Okay.
So if I click in here, you can see that the fast has reached above slow.
Okay.
Fast MACD has reached above slow
Mhm.
for this, and there will be one more alert, where you see fast MACD is decreasing rapidly.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
So
and here
yeah,
it is the link to
okay,
unsubscribe the
yeah,
SIM.
okay, that's fine, that's fine. The
Hmm.
the thing I want to verify is that I want to see the actual, you're alerting from the last how many data points?
Oh, it's actually the last 100 data points. I
Okay,
suppose it
100,
was,
right? So
yeah, I
100 days,
suppose,
100 days,
yeah,
right?
100 days. It was for testing, for letting you know what actually happens. So I have just, like, this is an array of 100 data points, and the last data is today's data, I suppose. So I have just ran a loop of 100 for like test purposes, but now I guess I will just remove it and just give it a if condition, which will check after every 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. I mean, these are all should be parameters that can be tuned. Okay, that can be
Yeah,
tunable
yeah, yeah. These are
parameters.
all
Yes.
parameters. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
but
worries. Yeah.
okay, so I think what's important now is for us to see, okay,
Mm,
which
mm,
because we do actually have the lines that are crossing over and also down. We want to
mm.
make sure that those points are being signal or alerted. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
So right now I'm only seeing some numbers, right? So
No, it's not all about numbers. It's about the
which
meal.
yes, I know. I mean, I know, but I don't know which date did that belong to. So I can
Yeah.
verify. Do you see my point?
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
So can you maybe just show quickly
yeah. Mm.
like which date or maybe how many days ago is that? This is
Shall I just console log it?
yeah, you can console log that. That's fine. But
Yeah.
let me uh okay, because I do have the actual MACD with me now. Okay, on
Okay.
TradingView, which I can compare against, right?
Yeah. Mm.
So okay, so Devo, I think why don't you do this? Can you just
Yeah.
show when you're alerting whether an
Yeah,
up
surely.
down
I can show.
event?
Yeah. Yeah,
Also
I can show.
show like which date is that? Okay, if you can,
Actually, it's like I
or,
can't
or how
show
many
which
days,
day.
or how many days before today, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
maybe
I
just
can
how
show
many?
how many days before today. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And now I'm going
Yeah.
to share my screen, okay?
Just
Because
let me show you the
okay,
number of days, then I guess
okay,
it will
sure.
be.
All right, and then we can verify. We can verify.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Mike, I mean, I don't know how much of this is making sense. It's
Some, but little.
okay. So essentially, I think there are two main things we want to be automatically detected. Okay, one is when the fast line is overtaking the slow line. That's when it indicates an enter signal for us.
Who's this
And
for?
this, I'm sorry?
This is for
Who's
BT USDT.
no,
This
not
is,
what. Who? Who is
I'm
getting
sorry.
this information?
Okay, so right now Debo is designed that it's an email alert. So whoever,
Uh,
has been
like
subscribed
it
to.
was 96 days ago.
All right,
Nine,
96 days
96
ago.
or
Okay,
95 days ago.
96 days ago. All right, so let's check.
95 days ago, BT USDT fast was decreasing. Yeah.
What was the fast number?
Just wait a second. Fast number.
Yeah, so okay, so all right. So you can look
I
at the
sup
numbers. I'm going to share my
I
screen,
sup
okay, because
I suppose it's 506.
506. All right, good. All right, I'm going to share my screen, okay,
Yeah.
because this is something that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is actually the MACD daily with a graph, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I am looking at this is daily, okay, and this is today, Okay.
Hmm.
So I
And
think,
96 days ago.
okay, so 96 days ago, I am suspecting maybe this one, but 96 would be 3 months before, right?
Yeah,
3 months.
yeah.
So that's that would be what?
I think the data is more
August, right?
like the
August.
first element is the today's data and second element is sorry. Can you just check 4 days from now?
How many days?
What is today's data, for instance?
Okay. So
Why can't I skip my screen? What is today's data? Can you just confirm me that?
yeah, hold on a
Today's
sec.
fast MACD, can you confirm me that?
Yes.
Is it 534?
Let me check this to the
Today's fast line MACD
right,
534.
right.
Is it?
No, this is the BTC USDT. Today's fast line seems to be 1/3 in the 1300.
Hmm?
So this is the MACD 1226.
No, no, I wanted the fast MACD.
Yes, yes, that's the fast.
Can you just tell me the number?
Okay. So the fast MACD for today, November 21st, Tuesday,
Hmm.
okay, is actually 1279, I think.
Okay, okay, 1279, right?
Is it the same as what you got?
No, no, it's more like my data. It's more like 1209 for today. Like it's the 100th element present in there. So 96 days ago, I suppose the data was 96. Yeah, 96 days ago, I suppose the data was 474.
Okay, 474. All
Yeah,
right. So, yeah.
like
So,
it was
so,
in and around 474. Is it
hmm.
96? Please check it 96 days ago.
So what date would
Today's
that
data
be?
I obtained was right.
Okay, let me
So
reset this a bit. That was 90 something. What? Okay, so Devo, can you maybe convert that for me? Like what date, what month date would that be?
yeah, yeah, okay, fine.
Because on here on TradingView, it's
Yeah.
basically, so the fast line,
It was 16 August 2023. 16th August. Can you just check to 16th August?
sure. 16 August. All right, we
Yeah,
have August here.
yeah.
So 16 August.
Is it around 500 something?
Now 16 August was actually negative. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
negative.
negative. Yeah.
Yes. 16 August, it was negative 142.
Can you check on 17th August?
17 August, that was negative 135.
18 August?
So negative 150. Yeah.
Mm,
So Debo,
yeah,
let me just quickly feedback on this. Okay.
yeah.
So this is supposed to be an alert up, is it? Meaning that the
Actually,
fast,
it's more like from like I guess the number of data has been something like not around 100. I don't know. It starts from 534 to 513. Can you check where the date is 534? Like in and
five
around 534.
534.
Yeah.
Well, judging
No, no,
from
negative or minus 534.
534.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the data is like which date it is?
Well, I think it's August 18.
Yeah, like I guess it's more like 6 days. So I just calculated it wrong. Just I was giving the overview. The data came was right only, right? Like today's data for fast MACD is 1209 and slow MACD is 1378.
137. Okay. The slow MACD for me here is 1449. Now, one difference might be I'm looking actually at BTC USD. So let me change that
Yeah,
to BTC
I am like
USDT.
USDT. Yeah,
Right. Let me change that to USDT.
yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to go, guys.
okay. All right. Thanks, Mike. All right.
Yeah.
I guess, Mike, any comments regarding what you have seen right now?
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything to me.
Okay. All right.
I mean, yeah, you know, the landing page looks nice. I've no idea.
Thank you.
I have no idea the point of this or why it's been done or anything like that. So I
Okay,
can't.
the point is to automatically detecting the signaling of entry and exit. Yeah, so that we can move in or out of positions, right? By automatic detection.
Okay.
Right, and basically this is verifying whether those points are actually being detected,
Great.
verifying from the graphics versus the numbers. Yeah, so
Who's it for?
I'm sorry.
Who is it for?
This will
Who's
be,
gonna-
well, for us, I think, for this, yeah, and
For JCF to benefit.
right, and also likely to trigger automatic exit should we not be monitoring at strange hours, for example. For example, if there's a sudden drop or a sudden crash in the market and we're not
Yeah.
monitoring manually, right? Then
Okay.
hopefully this mechanism will catch and then force an exit.
Right.
I guess that would be the main benefit now. I think given the right.
Okay.
In
Cool.
terms of entering, we can do that so many, I guess. Yeah. So
All
all
right. And
right.
there's no form of putting stop losses on something with the platform such as Binance.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that's something we can put as well, but that would be like a trading strategy, right? Okay. So yeah, maybe we can discuss that. Okay.
All right.
If that's all right. Stop loss. All right. Okay. Thanks. Thanks,
That's
Mike.
how you do it with
Yeah.
your standard trading platform, isn't it? You put a stop loss on so that if it goes below a certain point, you come out of the market automatically.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah. But we'll have to figure out though. I mean, like how to actually do that, execute that.
It's. I mean, I don't know because I've never done it on Binance, but for something like some of the American brokerage platforms, it's automatic.
Right.
It's already included in the package, so you have to physically go in there and click
Exactly.
on what you
So we
want.
want to do that with API, right? We want to do that with APIs essentially.
Mm.
So right.
All
All right. So thanks, Mike. All right.
All right.
Thanks for
Cheers, guys.
all right. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
So Devo, this is my
Yeah.
feedback to you. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't take this nothing that you've been doing very diligent work. Okay. I do appreciate that. But I
Yeah.
do want to point out maybe for you to also check against, okay, what we are seeing on TradingView. Okay. So
Oh,
that a comparison and a verification can be done quicker, easier, faster, for all of us. Okay.
yeah.
So
For today, can
yeah,
you
so
check it for yesterday, I suppose?
okay,
Yesterday?
so I am looking at USDT now. So the
Yeah.
fast line, it's actually okay. I think the fast line is 1262, and the slow
For
line is
yesterday?
one for today is okay. So for yesterday, Sunday, I think the the
I
fast
guess
is 1292, and the
Okay,
slow is 1472.
okay. 1472. Yeah.
Is
Hmm.
that your number as well?
It's more like 1420 and
1420. Okay.
yeah, for slow,
And
and
what's fast?
1378.
1378 for fast.
Yeah. No. For fast, it's like 1209. 1245 for yesterday.
1245 for yesterday. All right. So it's not that far off. Okay. Are you
Yeah.
getting your data from Binance as well?
Yeah, I'm getting my data from Binance.
Okay, all right, because we are looking at the Binance BTC USDT pairs,
Hmm.
daily MACD.
Hmm.
Okay. And also, MACD has two parameters, the fast and slow. It's how many intervals? It's 12 and 26. Is that also your
Yeah.
numbers? Okay. I think that's pretty standard, right? I think the MACD 12,
Hmm.
26. That's like the
Hmm.
standard. So I think the numbers we got are pretty close. Okay, so
Actually, it's more like, I suppose it's the average of the day.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
that works. Yeah. So anyway, but I
Hmm.
think if our numbers are close, then what we really care is whether
The
it's
last data.
crossing, whether the overtaking part has been detected correctly, right? For
Yeah.
example, let me just show you on my graph here. Between
Hmm.
November 9 and November 10, there
Hmm.
actually has been a crossing event.
Hmm.
See?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am expecting that
Hmm.
your detection or alerter will alert for this.
Okay.
Okay. Between November 9 and November 10. Okay. You should alert for this. Now,
Okay.
you should also alert for
Hmm.
this part. Okay. So this is when the date, I think it's about October 15 and
Hmm.
October the 16 or
Yeah.
17. Okay. This is also
Yeah.
when there has been a crossing. So maybe let's check on these two. Okay. In terms of
Okay.
up. Okay. So let me just write that down. Okay. For the record.
Oh,
This is,
can you? I will just confirm one thing. Wait a second.
yeah.
Is now's data 1377? Slow data 1377.
Which date? Which date? Today?
Like today's, yes.
Okay. So today's slow data is actually 1442, I think. I think that's the latest number.
Okay.
1442 is the latest. The fast line has been
Yesterday, I suppose it was
1263.
1420. Yeah. So it's pretty close. Okay.
For the data I'm here, yesterday the slow line is 1495 and the fast
Okay.
is 1303.
Okay.
Okay. But I
Hmm.
mean, if they're close, I think it's fine. There could be a little bit off here and there. I think the important thing is still the overtaking. Okay.
Yeah.
So fast overtakes slow.
Hmm.
I'm seeing at least on my graph here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm expecting November 9 and November 10. Okay.
Okay.
November
It
9 to
actually it
November 10.
actually shows the last the first time it actually like overlaps.
Okay.
So it's
So
been showing I suppose 19th of August.
19th of August. Okay.
Yeah. 19th of August, the fast was found to be greater than the slow.
I
19th
see.
or 20 of August, like in and around there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
That's it.
yes. But okay, that is but this is actually according to the graph here. That actually
Yeah,
happened between October. Oh, sorry, you mean August, right? You mentioned
yeah.
August. All
Hmm,
right, let me check August then.
hmm. Yeah.
Okay, September, August. All right. What date of August?
In and around 1819.
1819. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, no. See? 18 and 19. Actually, the fast line is way below the slow.
Actually, it's more like 100 days ahead from us. Like I don't know the exact number, like of elements present in the array. So I suppose it might be 16, 17, 18, like that only. Like the current data is being obtained, right? So it's
Okay,
more like
so
if
so
there is an
Devo,
over, yeah.
yeah, so Devo, I think what you can do is to do a simple date converter. Okay, just show like which data point is which date. Okay, August, which date. So we
Actually, I
can
don't
we can
have
verify
the
that
date, right?
easier.
Because it's more like I just know I just have an array. Like when I call the API, it just return me an array of the last 100 element, last 100
Right,
days.
right, right. But
So the
yeah,
first element, like from the zeroth element to the first element, I guess the 99th day from today, I suppose there was an overlap.
okay, okay, all right. So
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 is
Devo,
it
yeah, please convert.
13th of August? Yeah.
Yeah,
13th of August was there some overlap?
13th of August. Yes, there
Yeah,
has been overlap. However,
yeah.
but
But
it's actually
it's more like
overlapping. It's overlapping down. You see, it's the fast overtaking the slow negatively. But we want to check when it's rising up. You see, so okay. So I'll give you according to my. This is what I'm going to check for. Okay.
hmm,
So I'm going to give you some dates and interval, okay, where I think, at least on the graph, we are
hmm.
seeing there's an overtaking, okay?
Actually, I guess it's more like since I don't have the date, if we have the current data as correct, okay, if the current data that's present in here is correct, so I don't think like there will be any something mistake, anything something which is mistaken. Like
Mm-hmm.
you get what I am saying?
Hmm.
I guess like since actually it's for 100 days, right? So before 100 days, I suppose the fast is greater than the slow only. So it's like showing this only.
No, sorry, I don't quite get what you're trying to.
Okay, I am trying to say that
Uh-huh.
before 100 days, like I am when I am alerting when the fast is greater than the slow, right? So
Right.
before 100 days only, I guess the fast is already greater than the slow. So it's not informing when there is a crossover. I just got the logic.
When the fast is already greater than the slow.
Like like I have obtained data for data like for the last 100 days, right? So
Mm-hmm. Right.
if I am alerting when the
Mm-hmm.
fast is greater than the slow, right? Like
Right.
the fast line is
Right.
greater than the slow. So
Mm-hmm.
before 100 days, I guess the fast is already greater than the slow. So it's informing me day one. Do you get
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
No. Sorry. Uh,
Okay, I am saying you sir the thing. Okay, suppose the data obtained is 1, 2, 3, 4 for fast and for like for fast the data obtained from 100 days ago till today is like 100, 200, 300, 400 like this up to the 100 date. Okay, and the slow obtained is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So before 100 days only. If the fast is greater than like the slow,
mhm,
the fast value of the first element in a fast array, which is the value of fast MACD, which is 100 days ago, is already greater than uh, the uh, the slow MACD that was 100 days ago. Like
mhm,
the value of fast of present in zeroth index, which means the value of fast 100 days ago is already above the fast that's like slow that's like 100 days slow MACD, that's 100 days ago, then it will
Mhm.
not inform a crossover, right? Because I am alerting when the fast value is greater than the slow. So I guess the main thing we should check upon is if the data obtained today is right or wrong. Because if the data obtained today is right, then if there is a crossover, then that is if the fast is greater than the slow, then I don't think like it will eventually alert me when the fast has got above slow, and it will inform me after every
Okay,
hour.
okay. So Debo,
Yeah.
I think I kind of get what you're saying because it started with the fast value bigger than the slow. So you're not detecting, right? Is that what you're saying? I think
Sorry,
that's what you're
sorry.
saying. Because the fast was already above the slow 100 days
Hmm.
ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's why you think it's not detecting. However,
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah.
think, yeah, from my perspective, you should still be able to detect that. Okay, regardless. It's an issue
Like
of how you're detecting,
I
because
guess
it's very simply, the fast value, for
mm,
example, actually you don't have to track too many in the past. All you have to compare is just two numbers, right? You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if the fast is larger, right,
Hmm.
than
Hmm.
the slow, for example,
Hmm.
and
Hmm. Hmm.
also the fast is on a rise, meaning that today's fast value is bigger than yesterday's fast value. That's an overtaking,
I
you
guess
see?
you said to like when the fast value is decreasing, you need to inform.
Okay, that is bonus. Okay. Well, sorry. When the fast is increasing, I mean that okay,
Decreasing. I guess you asked me
okay,
to inform
right,
when the
right.
fast is decreasing.
Yes, yes, decreasing, that is the down. That should also be alert. Correct, correct. For example, like
Yeah.
right here, okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
show you
Yeah.
November from November 1st to November 2nd.
Yeah.
This is an alertable event, but this is
Yeah.
alert down. You see, you have
Yeah.
to distinguish between alert up and alert down.
Okay, I have to inform both.
Yes, both. But also let us know which one is which.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Surely.
Yeah.
Surely. Surely.
So
Surely.
I'm
Surely.
going to, just write down some dates, okay, for you to verify that with
Hmm.
whatever code you have, you can
Hmm.
indicate. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
going to put, okay, so I'm
Uh,
going to give you
I
some
can give
dates.
you the number of days when the fast was greater than slow.
Uh, yes, but the key thing is not just greater, is we want to know when it's overtaking. Okay, we want to know the alert, the event. We want to be alerted when it just happened.
When
Okay,
it just happened, it will be
yes.
alerted when the fast has like the value of fast has just got over slow. It will be alerted, but it will be alerted continuously that the fast has got over slow until the fast is below slow. Do you get me now?
I understand. It doesn't have to alert, all the time when the fast is above the slow. Those aren't necessary. Okay. We're only interested in when it's overtaking and when the fast is coming down. Okay. That about do you get? I mean, we want those two key events. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. We don't have to be alerted when the fast is still, above the slow. That is,
Yeah.
we don't really need to be alerted, right?
I
Because
guess we can then what we can do the check on a daily basis. Like daily, if there is the fast value is greater than the slow, then I suppose we can just alert it.
yes, yes, exactly. Yes, you can
Yeah.
do that on a
Okay.
daily basis. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. I will
that's what I was
just.
saying. That's what I was
Okay.
saying. Okay.
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 Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm going to give you some actual data, to verify, validate the cross point. So another
Yeah.
is October
Okay.
16 going to October 17. Okay. And I'm also going to show you, to give you some numbers of the exact point after the crossing. So for example, this is when the fast is 1768. Okay.
Can you check from like days from today? I will just give you how to verify the my code. Okay. Wait a second.
No,
Wait
no,
a second.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no, no, Debo, I want you to verify this, you know, to
okay. Okay.
make sure your code actually
Okay.
detects
Okay.
these
Okay.
events, okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because, you know, I
Yeah.
don't want to do the work for you, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, okay, so right now I have identified two. Let me get another one. Okay, let me give you three. August 28 to August
Like,
29.
can you inform me on days from now, like from today, like something like 5 days ago, something like 2 days ago?
No, no, no. I'm going to give you the dates. So please do the conversion. Okay. I mean, because what I'm seeing are the dates here. And for going down, okay,
Okay, okay, okay, okay. I will do. I will do. Just second.
yeah, so for going down, I think it's, you know, you can write a small converter. It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. No. No.
so between November 1st, so this is fast turning down. Okay. So November 1st to November 2nd. And
Mm.
the fast line has become 1952, I think. Sorry, 1959. All right, so okay, so this should be another. This is August 30th to August 31st.
Mm.
And the value here is negative 65654. All right, so I think I'm okay. So there's another detection here, which is November 11
Just wait a second. I will just.
to November 12. And the fast line is 1768. Okay. So
Just wait
I
a second.
think,
I will just compare to list.
okay. So I'm pasting this to Slack, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And what I like to see is that you are able to detect these events, you know. So so this is the alert up and this is the alert down. Okay, I'm pasting this in Slack now. Okay. So yeah, so I think next time, okay, please check your code or results against this. Okay, against
I'll
these three
just check it
events.
now only. Like
Yeah,
I have got a comparer.
right.
Just give me.
No, no, no. I have to go now. Okay, so
Okay.
you know these are the criterias. Okay, I think
Okay.
maybe we should have done this earlier, but you
Oh,
know you know sorry, I was expecting you know should be easy to understand, but this will be more concrete for sure. Okay, so
okay.
please check your code against these events. Okay, for BTC USDT pair. Okay, at Binance. Okay.
Okay.
So this is I
November
guess
9.
right. So these are the dates where I
Okay.
expect, you know, your alerter will be able, and if it doesn't for any reason, then try to check
Hmm.
what's wrong. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And also note that these comes in pair. For example, when there's an alert up, you know, in
Hmm.
November, let's say 10, right?
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
alert us in November 10, see the
Hmm.
very next date, you know, in November 12th, just 2 days later, there's an alert
Hmm.
down. We want that,
Hmm.
you know. And also, for example, when because that could be an entry for us, October 17, right? So for the
Okay.
October 17, the exiting point is actually November 2nd, you see.
Mhm.
And for the August 29th entry, actually, you see on August 31st, we exit, you know, there's an alert down, okay? So I think this is good enough for now, for us, for our purpose. Okay, just try
Okay.
to capture these, you know, that we want to be alert of these events. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Mhm.
All right, so let's check on Thursday, same time. Okay, Thursday again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this. All right.
I have
Okay.
just checked. I get
Yeah.
like November 9th, and it's returning fine.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's check on Thursday. But okay, ideally, what I for bonus, please also be able to somehow integrate or show this in the in our Booty
I
base
guess
system. Okay.
Buddy-wise, what we can do is you can just provide a navbar link, and that navbar link will be like sent to, like, that navbar link will like redirect it to here only,
Okay, yeah, I
because
mean, Debo, I'll give you the freedom to design, all right? Okay, because
yeah.
on Booty base, you can design new page, new views, right?
Yeah, it's just
So,
I will just
right.
add a navbar, and then the navbar, upon clicking that navbar, it will be redirected to this page.
Okay, yeah, do however you feel like would demonstrate. Okay,
Yeah.
will be clear, all right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe we can see the demo on Booty base on Thursday. That would be best. Okay, if you can actually share, all right?
Okay, let me
All
try. I
right.
will try.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Debo.
Yeah.
All right. Take
Yeah.
care. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.